Carlos, Mike, and Miguel are making a tree fort in their backyard. Each of them has sketched out a design. They've got everything they need, and they're ready to start building, except they can't agree on whose design they want to build. So they go to Carlos's mom for the answer, since she's an engineer, and she knows about the engineering design process. Carlos's mom counsels the boys. She says, "After my team brainstorms a bunch of ideas for a new project, we use a decision matrix to evaluate those ideas and help us narrow our options to just one. Let's make one together." A decision matrix is a tool used to evaluate different design ideas. Specifically, it's a table used for scoring and comparing multiple prototypes. Here is an example of a generic decision matrix. Notice that after the top row, each subsequent row represents a different idea. Each idea gets a score in each column, and they're added up under the last column. You'll always want to include a key to explain your scores. Your design criteria are your goals for the project. They're the aspects of your design you want to optimize and your criteria for success. Carlos's mom says it sounds like the boys' goal is to make a safe tree fort with a roof that will keep them dry. So those are their first two criteria, safety and a quality roof. But also, since this is their first tree fort, they probably want to go for a simple design. So that's their third criteria, simple design, easy to build. A design constraint is a limitation placed on a design. If your design can't be built within your constraints, then that's not a design you want to consider in your decision matrix. Of course, you can only build a tree fort that you have enough materials for. So, Carlos's idea for a 2-story treehouse isn't looking so good. The boys looked at each design one at a time and talked about how they would score them for safety, the quality of the roof, and the simplicity of the design. Since Carlos's design required more wood than they really had, they didn't score it. By the end of the process, it was clear that Miguel's treehouse design was the winner. Though the roof wasn't quite as good as Mike's, it would be the safest by far. Even though Carlos and Mike didn't get to see their treehouse plans to fruition, they all agreed that, given the criteria and constraints, Miguel's design made the most sense. Once again, a decision matrix is a tool that informs us about the relative strengths and weaknesses of different designs and helps us select the best design in terms of the criteria and constraints of the project. Design criteria are the goals of a project. They define what makes the project successful. Design constraints are the limitations of the project. Things that might constrain a design could be things like cost or complying to laws or regulations.